Hi, I'm Pastor Donna Kluzek of St. John's Lutheran Church in Kine and Faith Lutheran in Deloitte, Iowa. I'd like to answer this question. Do the lies of the unborn matter? And I'd like to answer that by a life study. The life of my wife, Donna Kluzek. Donna now is in heaven, but I want to tell you her story because there's a lot we can learn from her life. You see, it was back in 1950 when an unwed mother was pregnant named Betty Smoot in Missouri. And her mother took her to the doctor and demanded, very forcefully, give my daughter an abortion. But the doctor refused. He said, it'll kill the baby, it'll kill your daughter. No. So, Betty was taken to an unwed mother's home in Kansas City where she had a little baby girl. Meanwhile, there was a couple that could not have kids, Don and Jean King in Missouri, and they wanted to have kids, couldn't, so they chose to go through the adoption process. They were so happy to learn that there was a baby girl available for them as they adopted this child and took this child home. Stories told that Don, the father, carried the baby on the drive all the way home, a couple hours. And the mom, Jean, was mad because she wanted to hold the baby. Well, they named this little girl after themselves. Don, the dad, Jean, the mother, named this little baby Donna Jean. Donna Jean King. And there she is. Thank God for that doctor who stood for life. Thank God for that home for unwed mothers in Kansas City, a Catholic home. And thank God for this couple that adopted this little baby. Well, Donna grew up not alone, though, because after Don and Jean had adopted Donna, they had 4 more children of their own. But Donna went on to dance. She loved to dance. These are her dancing shoes. She loved to dance ballet. She danced for the New York Ballet in a touring group, and she toured Europe before her senior year in high school. However, when she was 19, she got deathly ill. The doctors gave her 2 weeks to live. It was lupus. But Dr. Sharp from Columbia, Missouri, called her up and said, I'd like to try chemotherapy. It worked. She went on to live another 50 years. Donna went into nursing. In fact, this is her degree. She became a master's prepared nurse and served many people. The number of people she helped out as a nurse, I couldn't calculate. God only knows. She also went on to have 2 children. The third here, the little girl she adopted. I'll talk about her in a minute, but let me talk about this one right here, Kelly. You see, because of her lupus and her other illnesses, the doctor said, do not have this baby. When she was pregnant with Kelly, do not have this baby, it'll kill you. 6 doctors surrounded her hospital bed and told her, do not have this baby, have an abortion. But she refused. She risked her life to have Kelly. And Kelly went on to be a great blessing from God. It reminds me of the Hebrew midwives in Exodus chapter 1. As they refused to listen to Pharaoh and kill the baby boys, God blessed them. Well, Donna went on to adopt a 3rd child along with me. This is the picture of that child, Danielle, a special needs child. The smiles on the faces of these 2 tell everything, don't they? But there's one other story I want to tell you. You see, Danielle, after Donna had passed away, January 17th in 2021, Danielle was there only funeral home viewing the body of Donna, she came up to the body and said, "Thank you for adopting me." Those words are enough thanks for anything that was done to take care of Danielle, and much was done for her. But those words are very powerful and very meaningful. Thank you for adopting me. And very heartfelt. And God bless all who adopt children. Donna continued to get sicker and sicker. She couldn't serve as a nurse anymore, but she did what she could. She quilted. She cut out, for example, all these little tiny pieces out, sewed them all together, quilted them. This is just one small example of the artwork she did to try to bring happiness to others, even in the midst of her tragedies. Yes, Donna was able to do so many things with her life, including being a support for me, being someone who prayed, and the impact she made with her prayers, only God knows. But those prayers, I'm sure, accomplished a great deal on this planet. She was also a great witness for Christ. When her sister texted her and said she felt bad because Donna was so sick, this was 5 days before she died. And at that time, Donna had 8 life-threatening illnesses. But through it all, she never gave up her faith on Christ. She was a great witness for Christ. But she texted her sister back, "Jesus is with me." In the midst of those trials, that is how she responded. Jesus is with me. Yes, Jesus is with us through the trials of life. No matter what those trials may be, we need to go forward. We need to go forward with our lives. We need to defend the lives of others. We need to speak up for the unborn because they cannot speak for themselves. In Proverbs chapter 31, it says this: we are to defend those who cannot speak for themselves. It says, Proverbs 31, verse 8 and 9, "Speak up for those who cannot speak for themselves, for the rights of all who are destitute. Speak up and judge fairly. Defend the rights of the poor and needy." You can be like that doctor. You can say no and not enable someone to abort a child. You can be like Donna and Jean King, and like Donna and myself, and adopt children. You can serve in the medical field and help others in that way. You can say prayers. Prayers matter. Your life is valuable, and the life of the unborn is valuable. May God help us all then to defend the unborn. God bless you.